Welcome to the 13 Comics of Halloween.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the 13 Comics of Halloween. Today we are doing another Hellblazer. I don't know if you can tell, but we really like Hellblazer. At least I really like Hellblazer.
No. I'm totally on board. Yeah, I love Hellblazer now.
So I picked some things that we probably wouldn't get to in this podcast, like generally, just so we get like a good flair for.
Well, they've been fun arcs that, yeah, like you said, like maybe if we read like a whole entire like next like another trade or something, we would get them squeezed in there. But
right.
They're definitely not ones we would have like
centered on or something, normally.
And these two that we did are really cool. The first one we did that was like the stuff that was happening at the Vatican.
Yeah.
That was pretty like, and this one is totally like, I could see, like, I think you were telling me like I'll let you get to when this came out versus like also kind of maybe not this year because this has been like the at home year,
right?
But like also still relevant of like pretty recent stuff.
Yeah, what happens generally, but so this is a story called Shoot. It was actually never printed until like in a trade form, I think, or like I think there was an issue that was like Vertigo Resurrection, and it printed it for the first time like in the late 2000s or something like that. But basically, it's called Shoot, and it is about school shootings. And this actually was supposed to come out when, like, right around the time Columbine happened, and it wasn't after. It was like before. So like they didn't know that was going to happen. I don't know where they got the idea from. I believe Columbine hadn't happened when this was going to come out. So this is it says 1999. So I think this was going to come out. Columbine happened and they had to pull it like really, really quickly because it was actually going to be in the main continuity issues of Hellblazer. So it would have been like issue, 145 or something like that, but they had to pull it. So they never printed it. It was kind of like one of those, hey, did you hear there was a Hellblazer issue that never got printed because it was so controversial or whatever? So it was one of those. The story itself is written by Warren Ellis. I can't remember who the art was by. They didn't really say. It says it later on, so we'll mention it at the end because like the title page for this doesn't happen until the end of it. But it's got a great cover by Tim Bradstreet. Just shows like a kid who's obviously a 90s kid. He's got a 90s haircut. And then like a panel of him, a panel of a 44 Magnum, and then a panel of Hellblazer. So right away we start off, we see like kind of like a TV screen that's showing footage of a kid walking into school, his mom saying goodbye. So I wonder, like, this is from 99, so this is before cell phones. So maybe the mom's filming on a video camera, like a digital video camera, like kid's first day in school or something. And she's like, bye, David, have a good day at school. And as he walks in, some kid pulls out a gun, shoots him in the head, and shoots himself in the head. And then we pull out to see there's a woman, and she's watching this on TV, like basically on like rerun kind of thing. And it turns out she's I think she's like FBI who's investigating. All these kids there's been all these school shootings around. They've been killing themselves and other children with handguns, and she's trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, she's like, all these kids are dying, but we can't figure out motivation. We can't.
Yeah, like there's
why are they kids shooting kids?
Yeah, and we don't understand. And some people are obviously saying it's video games or it's violent movies, yeah. Whatever they say. But like there's always been those things, or versions of those things. So she also at the same time has been listening to tape recordings of the Jonestown massacre, specifically the Jonestown like last 5 minutes, like his sermon where he's telling, if you don't know what Jonestown is, Jonestown was in the 80s. Jim Jones, this preacher of this cult, took his followers down to Guyana and named a town after himself called the Jonestown. And then like once the FBI started like figuring that he was like kidnapping people or like keeping people there against their will, they sent down some senators to look into it. And when they did, Jim Jones had one last sermon where he made a bunch of Kool-Aid and people drank it and it was filled with cyanide. and thousands of people died.
This is where that saying "Don't drink the Kool-Aid" comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's absolutely bonkers that happened.
Yeah, and they also killed a bunch of, I think, 1 or 2 senators that were there at the time too.
Yeah.
They like shot them at the airport and stuff. So it was a pretty big international thing that happened. But like this last sermon of Jim Jones is very creepy and very weird because he's like, you know, and they say they can take our land, but we have guns and they have, you know, and we will drink cyanide and we will be here like with each other for eternity and they cannot take that away from us. And like, it's very creepy and weird. And like the fact that you can buy this like still is weird and odd. but like, I know people sell like recordings of this last sermon, like on records and stuff. So it's a very weird thing, but she's kind of like going crazy, like driving herself crazy by like listening to these things and watching all these events over and over and over again, trying to figure out what's wrong and like what's going on with these children that are killing themselves and their classmates. And she's not sleeping a lot. So she's listening to this so much that she like falls asleep at her desk. And like her partner comes in and is like, "Oh, Penny, like you're sleeping again at your desk. Like, how many hours did you get last night?" And she was like, "Oh, like 3, basically." I thought this was funny. He's like, "Well, have a drink of this coffee because it's basically made of cow shit or whatever." Yeah. And she even like sniffs it and she's like, "Oh, like the way it is." But like she's trying to figure it out with her partner, like what's been going on, and she doesn't get it.
And they're working with like some Senate committee too, like
yeah, because they're like trying to figure out, do we need to ban video games or something? Yeah. You know, we got to figure out what's killing our children. So then she's been, you know, spending time on this more and more, and she realizes as she's watching these tapes, someone keeps reappearing, and it's this dude with a trench coat, and we know him as John Constantine. So
she's like, "Huh, like this guy looks familiar." But he I don't think he was. It must just be something I've seen around. Like, there's no way he was in another one that I just watched halfway across the U.S. Was he?
Yeah, and so she then puts in another tape, and she sees, yeah, he's in the audience of that one too. And she's like, "Oh my God, like I don't know how this makes sense, but this dude is the connection. Like he's here, and he's basically like at all these places, all different incidents." You know, they don't make any sense at all.
4 different children over like 12. 4 different children over like a period of 12 days.
Yeah, and so, like, she doesn't know what's going on, but she knows he's involved somehow, and she's like freaking out about it. She's still listening to these fucking Jim Jones tapes, driving herself crazy, and she's looking like every section. She's looking more and more haggard, like this, like her hair's like completely like all over the place and frazzled, and like her clothes are all dirty and stuff. And
the next one, when the partner comes in the next morning, it was kind of funny because especially we were saying like this was before Columbine, because like I guess she's listening to something to like change the mood for a bit or something. So there's playing some kind of like I guess metal or rock music on the radio, and the partner walks in and is like, "What is this, Marilyn Manson or something?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, like man, this is before Columbine, and they're hitting all these notes."
I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong about this. I can't imagine he would write this right afterwards to come out.
Yeah,
then they would okay it, you know. But like maybe it was. I mean, it was right around the same time. So I didn't think he would write it right after.
So
Columbine.
If he did it before, it's crazy, and if he did it like prophetic almost,
yeah.
And if he did it afterwards, then it's almost like wow, like the balls to do that.
I don't think they would ever
afterwards, and I don't think they would. They wouldn't publish.
I don't think they would reprint it if it was afterwards. So
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but
either way, it's crazy.
Yeah. So the fact that he would be able to call it if it was is interesting. But basically, she tells her partner like, "This guy is at all these shootings. We must like find out who he is. Like, get your links." Or like open, you know, make some phone calls and figure out who the fuck he is. And, you know, she's got a picture of Constantine in her hands. Then like she gets a file and it's just like, "Here's your file on that guy you wanted. It's pretty thin.
Redacted.
Yeah. Like everything's like John Constantine, file restricted. Like nothing's on it. And she's like, "What's going on with this guy? Like, who is he?" And then she looks and he's there again. Like she turns on the news. Another shootings happen like right now live. And he's there again. But this time, you know, he doesn't look like he's like having fun or anything. He's got like his head in his hands, and he's like, "Jesus Christ," you know, like, "Oi, what's going on with these American kids or whatever?" You know, I don't know. I can't do an accent, so
that sounded Australian.
Yeah, close enough. So one of these, British accents. Hello. I'm
super cognate.
Yeah.
I'm Constantine.
I'm Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
But yeah, so they're trying to figure it out, and she like goes to one of the committee hearings or whatever, and she's like, wow, this is like maybe going to lead to something being done at least. And she, her partner's like, well, see you tomorrow, and she opens up her office to like go look at some more fucked up shit and listen to Jonestown. She actually hears it playing as she's opening it, and she's like, what the fuck? And Constantine's standing there, and he's like, wow, I didn't think the new Whitney Houston album would be so fucked up or whatever. It was just the Jonestown recordings. And Constantine has a sense of humor about everything. He can find a little joy in making fun of her, at least, or whatever in this. But she's like, who the fuck are you? Like, what's going on? And basically he tells her, like, look, I'm trying to figure this out too. I don't understand it either.
And you're not getting anywhere. Like, I've looked through all of your stuff here, and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, basically, you're just driving yourself crazy. Like, you're gonna like end up killing your own self if you keep going at it like this. But basically, he's there because one of his friends who got a divorce from his wife, her new husband was American, and her British son moved to America, and he just got shot like recently, a couple weeks ago, in school by one of these kids. And so the husband, the ex-husband, was like, hey, Constantine, can you do me a favor and like go over there and like figure out what the fuck's going on? So that's why he's over in here in America, and that's why he's at all of these shootings like separately. And basically he tells her what he's figured out. Like, she hasn't found anything, and what he's showing her is, he's like, look at this tape. Look at their faces. They're just standing there. They're not scared. They're just blank. They're like,
they're not like pulled back in fear of someone pointing a gun at them. Like this. Look at this. Look closer at them.
Yeah, this is not a natural reaction. And basically, he's saying like these kids have become so, like in a malaise or like
devoid of emotion, basically.
Yeah, devoid of emotion. Either whether it's from video games or just school in general, or like the like mediocrity of life or something. He doesn't really say a whole bunch of exactly what it is, but like basically they're just not happy with their lives.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if it's something at home, if mommy and daddy aren't like building them up to be emotional, understanding people, but something's happened, and this country is like in a crumbling state. Where he actually says like, with no education and no hope and no future, and they're waiting. They're standing there waiting, to die basically. And that's when he says, and look at what the kid's saying, like the kid that's gonna get shot in this video. Look at what his fucking words say, and like it focuses in on the kid, and she looks like she's got this horrified face on her, and she sees that the kid's actually telling the kid with the gun, shoot. Yeah.
As he's pointing the gun at him.
I guess kind of like under his breath, but still just like, shoot me.
Yeah, like, shoot. I want to die or whatever. So like, and that's how it ends. Super fucked up. Super fucked up. And like I said, this is where the title card is. And it says written by Warren Ellis, and it's drawn by Phil Jimenez and Andy Lanning. So yeah, it's a very like freaky issue, especially if it's like prior to Columbine and whatnot. But yeah, anything else you want to say about that?
The art in general, the art is good in it too.
Yeah,
it's pretty. Most of the Constantine ones we've read, the art is pretty
solid. Yeah,
it's pretty solid.
Most of the run is like, there's not too many issues of it that I'm like, this kind of lacks or whatever. But every now and then you get someone in it. And usually they're just fill-in artists. They do something. Usually it's an American fill-in artist that's drawing like yellow taxis in London or something, and that's what you get.
There's no yellow taxis.
Oi! There ain't yellow taxis here, eh, mate? Governor? Or whatever they say. I don't know. We're going to get a lot of shit for this, aren't we?
The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain.
Yeah, sure. Falls mainly on
the plain.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the issue. Shoot from Hellblazer. What would you give this one, John?
You've sold me. I'm in on Hellblazer. And all the arcs you've shown me, I'm like, oh, that's cool. really messed up or really dark and deep, and I mean, it fucking falls right in there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this one a 7. It was solid. Like it was a quick little like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 7 too. As a Hellblazer one shot, like if this is just this is the only part of this storyline, he gets to be Constantine. He gets that like, you know, we were talking about with the with once Garth Ennis started writing for him, you get this like he's a sure self-assured asshole, but he also has like a heart.
Yeah.
So in this, he's definitely going there for a friend to figure out what's going on with these kids. And he, you know, like he's at every crime scene being like, Jesus Christ or whatever, you know. But then when he shows up to her, he's like, oi, you know, that's one like shitty Whitney Houston song you got. And like, let's have a chin wag. And, you know,
I have to say, I was not disappointed is not the word I'm looking for, but like, I definitely was thrown off because with Constantine being on all of them, I was like, oh, what's this like weird? There's going to be a supernatural under element. And it's just, now there's some fucked up shit going on. They don't know the root cause still.
Yeah.
But like, now these kids are just like, nah, I'm fucking done with life. Shoot me. And I was like,
I think that's even more fucked up.
it is.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's not that there's like a demon possession going around at schools or something like that. It's just that life fucking sucks for these kids.
These kids just are sick of
that's so messed up.
they're sick of mediocrity or whatever, or of this like nothingness they feel. So
Takes it to another level. I feel it. Like,
Yeah.
my heart's like, oh God, this really hits close to home.
yeah, definitely captures 1999
Yep.
in a way. So yeah,
I mean, and even like we were saying before, even some of what's gone on in the last couple of years, sometimes it seems a little like, whoa.
yeah.
Puts things in perspective.
For sure. So on that note, we'll see you guys next time
on the next, hopefully more spooky one.
Yeah. True. This one wasn't so spooky as it was like Jesus Christ, but it was scary. It was scary in a realistic way.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see you guys next time
On the next one.
Bye.